very All right. What's going on, folks? Welcome back to the FF Face-Off. We are here with our Week 1 reactions, giving you our thoughts, whether we should tell you to panic, whether we should tell you to calm down. We're here to do all the good things and get you ready for Monday Night Football. If we have any bets that we have lined up, I do have one, risk-free, of course. We're going to give that to you as well. We'll have a good time. We'll talk about a very particular person who's signed helmet behind Steve D'Angelo back there. He's going to come up on the show for sure. But yeah, my name is Michael Hopp. You can feel free to follow me on X at the FF Realist. I'm joined by Steve D'Angelo, who can be followed at Fantasy Savvy. Steve, how's by you, man?
Yeah, it's all good. Glad to be back for the 2025 season recap show. This was always one of Anthony's favorite shows. So it's good to be back on. Cody, what's up to you, man? First time doing a show with you. And Ernie, man, looking good over there, brother. And Mike, of course, the host with the most. So let's get it done for let's get a good start. You know, some good games yesterday, some breakouts, and long season ahead. So I don't want to get too giddy, but you know, we're always excited after week 1.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. We'll cover that. We'll answer questions, of course. We'll get to all that. Cody, tell all the fine folks where they can follow you. I know you said you only been live, twice so far. Maybe you did one pre-recorded, but tell everybody where they can follow you, because your wide receiver video was good stuff. So tell everybody where they can check out your content.
Yeah, man. Couple hits, couple misses on the wide receivers for week 1, but we'll be back at it this week. You can follow me on Twitter at COHNMEISS. I know that's a mouthful. That is my first initial and last name. So it's stuck. I've had that Twitter account for a long time, and sorry about that. But hey, type it in. No problem. You get a lot of my content there, and I link up with these guys all the time. Going to be on more live shows going forward. Excited to be on this one with Ernie, Mike, and Steve. Going to be a fun night tonight.
Yes, sir. And then, of course, last but not least, he did get out of work in time. He did show up. He's here. He's got a new camera. We'll get the microphone next time. Then we'll have everything going on. His name is Fantasy Football Anonymous. We follow him at Fantasy Anon Y, whatever. His name is funny, really, though. What up, dude? I'm tired of doing it. I'd like you to change your handle.
Yeah, dude. I just wish like Fantasy Anonymous was available. I don't know how that was taken, but is what it is. What's going on, fellas? I'm happy to be here with you. Cody, happy to shoot with you for the first time, man. Yeah, Steve, my boy. Jets look, dude, that was a tough game. Jets looked good though. That was a hard game, you know, but we'll dive into that. I'm excited to be here, excited to talk about the game tonight, see what you guys think. Cody, also, by the way, I like that you took accountability. You're like, I had some hits, I had some misses. That's a good trait to have. A lot of people don't have that in this industry, I feel. But yeah, man, I would love to go over, you know, my hits and misses as well and see what you guys got going into week 2.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and by the way, you know, I'm seeing some comments saying, help me not to panic. Well, tell us who we're not supposed to panic about, and we'll let you know if you should panic or not. But yeah, you know, we're going to get asked Monday night questions here. So Jared said, hey guys, welcome back. What a wild week. One down 12. Oh, what a wild week 1. Always use the number for week 1. He's down 12. Can Aaron Jones get that in PPR? Steve, can Aaron Jones do that?
Of course. Yeah, of course. Now the game script, we'll see. The Bears have a lot of injuries on defense, so maybe the Vikings get ahead and a little bit more Jordan Mason tonight. Maybe Aaron Jones isn't catching many passes, but still could get in the end zone, catch a couple of passes. 12 is very, you know, within reach. So I would say you know, it's probably like a 50-50, maybe you're like a 55-45 favorite, something like that.
Yeah, that sounds about right. And you know, Steve, we're definitely going to give you your flowers in terms of Justin Fields, but just so I'm going around the room, I'll go to Cody. Justin Fields with top 5 upside every week. It's not really a question. It's more a statement here from Jacob, but what do you think there based on what you saw there in week 1? Obviously, we'll go around the room. But Cody, I'll go to you first. What are your thoughts there on Justin Fields?
Yeah, Jacob, it's an accurate statement, man. I mean, these rushing quarterbacks, right? It's kind of the way the league is going. You're seeing it out of Lamar, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts every week. You're seeing these guys who their stat lines don't look amazing some weeks. I mean, definitely Jalen Hurts, right? He might throw the ball 15 times in a game and score 30 fantasy points because he gets a couple rushing touchdowns and puts 70 yards on the ground with his legs. Fields has that. And man, I thought the Steelers defense was supposed to be pretty solid. And Justin Fields looked really, really good. I was impressed. He was one of the most impressive guys on the week for me. I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think he and Breece Hall just kind of working in unison. I don't think that backfield's up for question anymore either, guys. Breece Hall looked really, really good. And I think those two just have this dynamic duo effect. They're going to play off of each other, and they're both in for pretty big years. Definitely have top five upside every week. What do you guys think?
Ernie, I do have to skip you just to get to Steve because I see him chomping at the bit. He's bouncing his chair. He's been a Justin Fields lover. And listen, and I'll say this though, from an NFL perspective, because like I'm in New York, so I was listening to sports radio.
Yeah,
this is the biggest victory I've ever seen in a Jets loss in a while. In terms of how you saw the offense play, they didn't lay down. You know, they got like they got a lead, they went down, they got right back up. Like this to me, this was. It's not a bad loss. It's a good loss if there's a way to say that. But Steve, you are the Justin Fields truther. You have been always and forever. Hopelessly devoted. What do you got, man?
Yeah, well, he's been good to me in fantasy football, so that's kind of why I've always been into him. But Aaron Gled said, if we could just be a team that the fans are proud of, then I think we're going to be a success. And I think I was very proud of the way they perform. And the one knock I've always had on Justin Fields is he could be good for a half. He'll be good for maybe 3 quarters, or good, bad in the first half, bad in the second half. His problem's always been kind of consistency through the game and a lot of, drive, just stalling out on drives and whatnot. But yesterday, I thought he was from quarter 1 to quarter 4. He played one of the best games I've ever seen him play against this defense. And obviously he was fired up. I mean, this was his former team, Rodgers' former team. I mean, there was a lot of juice between those two teams. I mean, they were going at it. Freaking Ramsey, it was getting freaking kind of crazy and
gritty game.
Yeah, gritty as hell. And Fields,
sure.
The one thing I really noticed, and I think J.J. Watt also pointed out in the broadcast, was Fields was, moving around the pocket very well, but keeping his eyes downfield, which was a key because a lot of times, he just get down and scramble or just take the check down. And he continued to do that throughout the game. And, you really saw the progression of him. Now, it's one game, but you like the way they looked. I mean, the weapons surrounding him at the receiver position aren't the best besides Garrett Wilson. But, yeah, Breece Hall, I mean, people were like, Braylon Allen, Isaiah Davis could be a mix-in, but Breece really showed out. So he had a great debut. But Justin Fields, very good for fantasy. I've always said that. Because of the rushing upside. Again, this guy is one of 3 quarterbacks that ran for 1,000 yards, has the single season highest rushing record in the regular season. And the way he progressed as a passer yesterday, keeping his eyes downfield against this defense really shows a lot. So a lot of promise. I'm really excited. Obviously have a lot of them on my fantasy teams, but it was a tough L. It was a tough L. We would like to get the W there. Garrett Wilson with the drop at the end, but to continue to drive. But yeah, good. A lot of hope going forward. And I'm really excited about the Jets. And, like I said, I think they can win 8-9 games, maybe 10. We'll see. Maybe not with this loss, but, Aaron Glenn did a great job. Fields did a great job. Breece Hall looked great. And their defense just needs to play a little bit better. Too many wide open touchdowns there for Rodgers.
Yeah, I thought you made a great point talking about, it being a complete game, which is not something we're accustomed to with Justin Fields all the time. I mean, he has done it sometimes, but for sure. But yeah, I will go to Ernie and I will just say 13.5 more touchdown passes for me to hit my season-long bet on Justin Fields touchdown passes. But Ernie, before I get to you, I'll tell everybody I see comments coming in. We're going to get to as many as we can. We're going to mix in all reactions. If you want to get ahead of the line here, you send in a super chat and we will get to you. You take first come, first serve there in terms of super chats. But Ernie, quick thoughts, Justin Fields, because, again, the weekend he had, he's one of the most discussed players right now. What are your thoughts there, man?
Yeah, no, you guys crushed that. You and Steve, you guys crushed that. Good call. Like, I think Justin Fields showed you everything you'd want to see from Justin Fields, right? It was never the athletic ability. We know he's an incredible athlete. Can he develop as a passer? And I think yesterday, I don't know if it was because he was playing his former team, but he came out with a chip on his shoulder and he looked really good. He looked like a gamer. He was making smart throws. He was making good throws. And, you see that parlayed with his athleticism, and it's like, damn, like this guy can be a threat in this league. So I also don't think it's a coincidence. Like the Jets have been building this offensive line for a while now. Last year, they took a top 10 pick from Penn State. Steve, what's his name? Your
Mugaboo.
Yes, dude. He's a Fashanu. He's a stud. And then they just drafted Membo. I thought Membo could have went before Will Campbell this draft. So they have been, and I don't think it's coincidence that it's starting to click when he finally has protection. Outside of Garrett Wilson, you want to see the Jets get more weapons and, hopefully Mason Taylor takes that step. But yeah, guys, good call. I feel like that was a must-win game for both teams. But if you watch the game, you watch the highlights, you watch how gritty it was, it's, no losses.
The best game
look, actually, I am going to say there are losses that are good losses, and that was a good loss yesterday. As a Jets fan, they're if you're comparing them to the Giants, the Jets are the superior team. They showed me that we could hang with a gritty team. Relax. I know you thought the Giants were going to be good, but we'll get to that in a second. But the Jets, I just think what they got going on right now with Glenn, they have arrows are pointing up. So. Good loss for the Jets, man. I think they're going to play tough this year. I like your guys' forecast for them. 8 wins feels like the sweet spot. And then, hopefully the new GM, I thought he had a great draft. Hopefully they can build on it. And we'll see if, Fields could be the guy.
All right. I'll go to this really quick. And then, Cody, I'm going to go to you with this next question. Not more so a comment, because Cody had sent me some show notes and I kind of want to ask him about it. But, this other comment was from Greg saying, I was really high on Dak. I know you were too, Michael. How do you think he and the Cowboys are going to do moving forward? I think they'll be fine. I think they played the Philadelphia Eagles. I think that's what happened. They're going to throw the ball a ton. I did not expect Javonte Williams to have that kind of production, but CeeDee Lamb is going to be one of the best wide receivers when it's all said and done at the end of the season. George Pickens will be top 24, even though I was skeptical of it during the offseason. That's fine. I'll be wrong on that. No, but Dak Prescott will be just fine. If anybody thinks Dak Prescott will not be fine, you can feel free to comment, or I'll go to the next one. I think we all think Dak will be fine, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're definitely encouraged by the way he looked, getting out of pressure. I mean, CeeDee Lamb had 4 or 5 drops. Ferguson had a couple drops. So, yeah, I thought it was a great debut for them. Prescott is older. He doesn't run as much, and he's still a little bit injury prone. So we'll see how the rest of the season plays out. But I thought he played pretty good.
Dude, I honestly thought Dak played great. Yeah. I think what fantasy managers have to do is guys, sometimes the points, it's not going to translate. It's not going to be pretty. You got to, weigh the matchup. You're in Philadelphia week 1 on Thursday night, first game of the year. That is not.
The lightning delay did not help.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
That killed the game too. You're right.
Everything.
And who do they have next week? Who does Dallas have next? Yeah. So Dak's going to eat. So Dak's going to have his bounce back week next week.
I am okay. Just
bro,
right.
Are you?
We'll get to the Giants. No, we'll get to the Giants. Are you a Giants fan? That's the question.
I'm not. I'm a Colts fan. I'm not. I'm a Colts fan. I am a
Colts fan now.
100%.
You're a Danny Dimes fan.
You guys can enjoy Joe Shane.
I'm gonna get to Cody with this next thing, but I want you to know my dog is barking, and I want you to know that Wayne Jackson Dart is dealing. You are not allowed on the bandwagon.
What are you talking about?
I will hop off my 49er bandwagon.
I have receipts of me calling him QB1 before the draft even started.
Stop it. We're not. This is not a Giants podcast. Stop it. It's fine.
You're making it one.
I am not making one. I'm just teasing you. But Cody, I thought it was interesting because you put as you made great notes, but you put as a surprise in terms of Miami getting dismantled. To me, no disrespect to my Miami Dolphin fans friends, but I wasn't surprised to see them get their pants pulled down. But you're saying Miami, well, that's what I was saying. Miami is gross completely. Give up on McDaniel. I will say before I kick it to you, Cody, I did predict that Mike McDaniel will be the first coach fired, and it will be mid-season. But talk to me why you thought it was a surprise. Did you really think it was a surprise? Did you slip it in that note just for context purposes? They did get, destroyed by Daniel Dimes, Ernie's new favorite NFL player.
Danny Bills. His name is Danny Bills now. He's evolved from Danny Dimes.
Okay, so he's gone up 90 cents to $1 bill.
Getting giddy.
This is good to know.
Giddy over here.
But Cody, talk to me about that. Were you actually surprised that Miami got floored like that, or?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think what you said at the end is really what the shock factor wasn't. A week 1 loss. It wasn't the offense didn't look great. It was 33-8 against a Colts team that everybody's predicting to finish last in their division. I shouldn't say that. Some are predicting the Titans, but many are predicting them to be 3rd or 4th, right? Some are high on Cam Ward. I didn't think they were going to get throttled. I didn't think they were going to get lost both sides of the ball as bad as they did. To be honest, I've had, you predicted Mike McDaniel being the first head coach fired. I had tweeted a few weeks back that I thought Tyreek Hill would request a trade before week 8. It might be before week 3. I mean, he was ticked on the bench. Tua couldn't do anything right. I was a little surprised that they couldn't at least lead more than one scoring drive against an Indianapolis Colts team that nobody other than Ernie really has any faith in. That's what the shocking thing was to me. Less about them not looking great and more about the overall how it happened and the fact that it was the Colts. If this was Buffalo week 1 and they lost 33-8, okay. But Indianapolis, I don't know. Do you guys have different thoughts on that?
I mean, I'm shocked by the score. I'm not really shocked.
Right.
I'm not really shocked by the Dolphins' performance though, because I've seen this from them. And I do think Tua, I think Tua kind of holds this team back. And also McDaniels too. I think something off with him too, obviously. And, Mike alluded to him being the first fight. I kind of thought the same thing. I think that's definitely possible, but he's skying balls. He's fumbling it. He's making guys catch the ball out of bounds. Like he just had a terrible game too. I mean, it was just completely awful. I don't know if he's scared to get hit. I mean, every pass is coming out so fast. It's his system. Their defense did not look good. I mean, the one touchdown was another swing pass to Achane. Like, you have Tyreek and Waddle, and you're throwing a freaking Alec Ingold in the middle of the field. I don't know what the hell is going on with the Dolphins, but I kind of got that sense when I went to the Bills-Dolphins game last year. And just watching them, it just seemed like a team that had absolutely no cohesiveness. And like their fans were just, I don't know. Dolphins fans are just delusional. So I don't know. It's just, it's a shit show in Miami for
hopefully
sure.
our resident troll ATL's not watching. So he's going to get very upset.
Well, true. I mean, just speaking the truth. What do you want me to say?
FF Rabbit Dad did pop in and say Roshan also out tonight. So, okay. Well, could be a good night for DeAndre Swift. We'll see how that goes. This isn't even me saying it because I'm a 49er fan. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. Mike McDaniel's going to get fired, and next offseason, he'll return as our run game coordinator with the 49ers. It's going to happen. You get fired, we take you back in. Or he could be offensive coordinator and really be the run game coordinator, which is what he was.
Yeah,
he was offensive coordinator for 1 year and didn't call plays.
Achane looked good. I thought Ollie Gordon looked like a slower Latavius Murray, but
in terms of us ragging on the Dolphins here, I think Achane is gonna be just fine. No one's worried about that. If you have him, you're fine. You're good to go.
But you know what? I took the over in this game because I was like, all right, well, the Colts are gonna be able to score a lot of points and Tua's going to be chucking. So I was like, they'll be able to put up at least 20 points.
That's fair.
They scored 8 points. I mean, so where Cody's coming from, I am shocked by the Dolphins scoring just 8 points.
Yeah.
Speaking of this Colts game, Colts and Dolphins, whoever wants to take this can take it. You can raise your hand because I'm not, Ty Warren is a league winner. Who is down with Ty Warren? And it's Ernie, of course, the rookie-loving machine. I like to call Ernie the fantasy football cougar because he loves all the young boys.
I am.
Ernie.
Guilty.
Ernie.
Fantasy football.
Talk to me about Ty Warren, man.
Dude, I'm being serious. Like, he's one of the best college football tight ends I've ever seen. Like, when I was watching him on the playoff run last year with Penn State,
that's a big statement, man.
Dude, he is one of the best college football tight ends I've ever watched. And I'm not saying he's going to be Brock Bowers, but he is going to follow that path of this kid is going to be one of the next best tight ends in the NFL. Just go watch the highlights, bro. He does he blocks, he makes incredible catches, he runs the right routes. Like, the Colts, like, I do think what's his face? I'm blanking on the GM's name. Ballard. He drafts well, and I think this guy fit the mold of like that perfect pick, like lunch pail guy, humble, not going to cause a lot of drama, and I think you're seeing that now. And it's the Colts and the Dolphins yesterday. I mean, I wasn't surprised. I think in our show I picked the Dolphins to finish last. I either picked them to finish last,
I think you did,
or third. Yeah. And so I'm not surprised by this because, I actually was looking at their schedule at the end of last season while you guys were talking. The end of last season when Tua came back,
they played nobody,
dude. They didn't look that bad. So
they went on a run, but
they lost to when Tua came back. They lost to the Cardinals by a point in a shootout. They lost to Buffalo by 3 in a shootout. They beat the Rams at Los Angeles. They beat the Raiders. They destroyed the Patriots. They lost to the Packers by 2 touchdowns. They beat the Jets. They lost to the Texans by a touchdown. They beat the Niners. They beat the Browns. And then they lost to the Jets. So it's like, I guess that's why there was so much steam on them heading into yesterday. And that's why, the public was on them. And I don't know how they regressed this much. Like, that's crazy. Like, Waddle and Hill both under 50 yards apiece. But I think we all kind of saw this coming for people that really, follow the sport. And I think the Colts, why you saw that explosion was just because the stars aligned. Like, Danny Dimes is like probably my Justin Fields for you guys. Like, I just feel like best offensive line he's ever had, best wide receivers he's ever had. And I think you saw that yesterday. And we'll see, because I'm not taking a victory lap like you guys over a loss, even though my guy got the win and put up 30 points.
A victory lap. Who said we're taking a victory lap?
Daniel Jones was like Joe Montana last Sunday. I hope you guys know.
Wait, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Dial everything back. Dial everything back.
The test is this week.
Wait,
Steve,
hold on. Stop it. Stop
Yeah.
speaking. What's a victory lap?
No, I was joking about how happy you guys are about Justin Fields. Like, you could be giddy about Fields, but I can't be giddy about Jones.
I was pretty reserved. I could have been a lot worse.
Oh my God.
Steve could have been a lot worse.
I thought Steve reserved it well.
Yeah. You know how much shit I took about shit I took about Justin Fields from like 97% of
dude, it's the same thing with Jones. Let's just let them keep doing it, man. Because
I was killing Steve for a long time.
I think. Wait, Hoff. I'm pretty sure I like the Fields touchdown passing. I'm pretty sure I took you on a pizza bet on that, so I owe you a pizza because you're gonna crush that. But it's the I forgot what I was saying. You guys threw me off. But
go ahead.
I'll say what I think about Jones real quick.
You say real quick, and then I'm going to go with Cody with the next question.
I watched Jones. I thought we saw a lot of what he does. A lot of underneath passes. He definitely made a couple of nice passes. That pass to Pierce was nice. The pass to Warren deep was great as well.
Pittman's first touchdown pass of the game was insane.
Yeah, he almost overthrew that though. Pittman kind of had to stretch out his hands a little bit to catch that. But he did. Go watch it. I'm just telling you the truth. He almost missed that.
Oh my God.
Plus he had all day to throw too. I mean, he had all day.
Oh, God forbid Daniel Jones has time. He's not allowed to have time.
I mean, no, but
dude, you're insane with this.
But once you get pressure on him, things change up. So that's all I'm saying. But so
like every other quarterback, like Patrick Mahomes,
not Josh Allen, not Mahomes, not
really.
Field.
So Mahomes did good with pressure in the Super Bowl.
Well, I mean that was like an extensive pressure, but when there's normal.
Go look
pressure,
at Daniel Jones pressured last year. Go look at any year he's
whatever.
played.
All right, let me just finish my statement. Listen, I like Daniel Jones coming out of Duke. I liked him as a prospect. I kind of gave up on him on the Giants. I thought he played good yesterday. I thought he had a lot of time to throw. I think the Dolphins defense isn't good. I want to see more from him. I think he can be a good. No, let me finish. I think he can be a good fantasy quarterback this year for sure, because I think the Colts have a lot of talent on defense and offense, and I think Steichen's a good coach. But I just need to see a couple more games. That's all.
Dude, this week is the test. That's all I was trying to say. Yeah. He's playing the Broncos this week. That's the test. That is a big game. That's a big game for him. If he wins that game, could we agree that's impressive?
If he looks good in this game, oh yeah, I'll definitely give him his props. And your props too.
Obviously,
100%.
Yeah, obviously, yes.
But I agree with Steve. Like let's Field and Jones do their thing. I think they're trending up.
All right. This does come from our resident troll ATL, but I will serve it up to Cody, even though I know he's serving it up to troll at me, because why wouldn't he? Our resident troll ATL says, are people overreacting on Sharps this week because people said he is not good a week ago? There we go.
No, I think I'm a Kenny Walker.
For you. It was for Cody.
Sorry.
No problem, Ernie. No problem. We'll all get our chance. Guys, I got to be honest. I don't know where Michael's come from. I haven't really been hearing people say he's not good. I'm teasing. But, I would say we're not overreacting to Charbonnet. And I guess this is different depending on if you're a dynasty player, just a redraft player. In dynasty, I would start being a little bit worried about Kenneth Walker. I don't think Sharps looked particularly great. I mean, 3.8 yards per carry? Like, neither one of them looked good. Like, we're talking about a defense that really, really looked a lot better this year, though. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that, Hoff, just as a Niners fan. But, Salah's doing something right, clearly, because I think a lot of people expected Seattle to kind of do what they wanted. I mean, I was seeing a lot of reports where people were picking Seattle and projected Sam Darnold to have quite a game. But anyway, back to Sharps. No, I mean, I don't think it's an overreaction. I don't think many people are saying, hey, he's going to be, a bell cow running back. I do think that there are people that are concerned with Ken Walker only getting 40% of snaps to Charbonnet's 58%. And I do think people are a little bit concerned with Ken Walker's lack of production. Again, it's 1 week. It's a tough defense. Ken Walker, he did have more work in the passing game. Sharps didn't have any. I think Ken Walker had 3 targets, caught all 3 of those balls. If you're a PPR guy, they're
4 yards. 4 yards, yeah.
4 yards, yeah. I mean, but you're talking about getting some work. Nobody was productive in that game. I think Sharps found the end zone. But the reality is, both of these two, they're probably going to split the backfield. It's going to be frustrating for fantasy managers all year. Who do you want to start if you have both of them? I don't know, but maybe it's something you can get a trade off here early or middle of the season where you might be able to get a piece back that you need and send somebody else their handcuff. I don't know what you guys think. I'm not really excited about either one of them, though.
This is why I had said during the offseason that I don't really trust either Seattle running back. It's not that they're not good. It's not that they're trash. It's just I don't trust the injuries. I don't trust the distribution of the ball. I will say in terms of the NFC West, watching that Seattle Seahawks defensive line yesterday, granted, the Niner offensive line is not great outside of Trent Williams and Colt McKivitz, who got an extension, even though he doesn't hold the candle to Trent Williams. This is going to be a defensive division this year. You got the Rams in there, the Cardinals, who basically spent their whole draft stock on defense. This is going to be a lot of defense in this division, in my opinion, even though they all have things on offense. So I don't hate Sharps. I just don't trust them. And then ATL, we'll get to your other question, but, or I'll just say it now because there was with the injury announcements, the big thing was Kittle's probably going to miss a couple of weeks. That's what it sounds like with the hamstring injury.
3 to 5.
3 to 5, which 5 would be the extreme for me. I think 3 at the most, personally, knowing if you look at the last 6 or 7 hamstring injuries that Kittle has had, while I don't know how great this one is, he usually spends about at the most 3 games out. The worst he ever had, I believe, was a shoulder injury. But Steve, what, you got something there?
Real quick on Kittle.
You were going to say something.
No, real quick on Kittle. Yeah, I'll just say the backup had a nice catch there. And if the Niners are winning, they may elect to keep him out that 5 weeks just to get him fully healthy, because obviously you could re-aggravate things, but maybe they'll force him back earlier. We'll see. As far as Charbonnet, I mean, I didn't draft any Charbonnet. I drafted Kenny Walker. But you could get burnt by the price there on Kenny Walker because of what Charbonnet did in that first game. Now, I think part of that was because Kenny Walker was banged up. He didn't play a lot. He was being restricted. So I think they maybe, are going to use a little bit more Charbonnet, maybe the next couple of weeks while slowly building up Walker and kind of saving him. But there is a chance this could be a full 50-50 split. Charbonnet started those first 2 drives. I think those are the longest 2 drives of the game for the Niners. So he got a little bit more work. And he ended up getting the touchdown. But again, this could be a 50-50, especially if Charbonnet continues to develop. Now, I'll still put my money on Walker, kind of being the main back in this backfield. I think he's the most talented player, and I think that will show out. But it wasn't a great start for the freaking Darnold-led Seahawks here against the Niners. He didn't play well at all. So,
yeah, I mean, before I kick it over to Ernie, I will just say that prior to the JSN catch towards the end of the game, I mean, the Niners were allowing, I think, about right around 4.4 yards per play. So, yeah, the defense did their job. But, again, I just think this is going to be a defensive battle. Really quick before I kick it to Ernie to answer ATL, because Brock Purdy was also on the injury report with a toe and a shoulder injury. Is it worth adding Mac Jones in Superflex leagues? I would say only if you're really desperate to play another. I think Mac Jones will be fine if he gets in. God rest his soul, Anthony. Steve, you know this. Yeah. He always wanted Mac Jones to be drafted by the Niners.
Well, he said that Mac Jones would win a Super Bowl with the Niners.
He did.
Yeah, he stood by that, and I always gave him shit for it, but.
So but I would say that if Mac Jones is out there and if you're desperate at quarterback in the Superflex league, okay. But I'd like to think you have a better option. I think he'll do fine.
But the one thing is Superflex league, like the quarterbacks are some of the best pickups. So you might as well just put them on your bench if you have
You could do that too.
Yeah. I'll throw this out there real quick about this, guys, before we go to Ernie. Niners next 3 games: at New Orleans, home against the Cardinals, home against Jacksonville. I know the Cardinals is a division opponent, but if ever there was a time to not rush your starting quarterback that you just paid big money to in the offseason back, it's probably with those 3 games coming up next.
That's good. I dig that. Ernie, we kind of wrapped a lot up there for you. So Seattle Seahawks backfield.
Yeah, no. So
Jones,
I mean,
what do you got?
I'm a Kenny Walker truther just because of the talent. But yeah, man, like I'd want Sharps in fantasy. So who was a sharp truther, like good call. Like I guess that's the way they're gonna divide this, where it's better for real life, sucks for fantasy. But I think Charb would be the back you want. You want the guy that is going to be the bruiser, going to get the goal line touches, going to get early down work, right? And it looks like Kenny's that finesse spell guy. So, if there's one that I'd want, I would try to sell Kenny right now. I would dynasty leagues, see what you can get for him, see if you get a solid pick. And if you have Sharps, I would rock him in my flex every week until anything changes. If you have both, that's also good too. But it's just funny because now it's probably inverse. Kenny's now the handcuff, and it's probably just because Charbonnet is more durable. Like we all know, like the underlying metrics show you that Kenny is elite. Like the rushing, he was a top 3 graded, just pure rusher last year. So it's never that. But Charbs is the durable guy. He could carry a heavy load. So. That's the way I see the backfield moving forward.
You think Walker's the handcuff? No, he said he thinks Walker's the handcuff. I don't know.
I mean, right now, like the way it's,
I disagree too.
No. You would rather have Kenny right now than Sharps?
Yeah, I'd rather have neither. But if I had to pick, I'd rather have Kenny Walker.
Well,
I've said all offseason I don't want to touch the backfield.
I don't think Kenny Walker is going to really show fantasy dividends anymore unless Charbonnet gets hurt. Because it's like, okay, so Kenny Walker either needs to make a big play, right? or he's just going to give you mid volume every week. While Charbonnet is also going to get mid volume, but he's going to get the goal line touches.
Yeah, but that could change up. It
I
could. Said.
That's why I was saying, like, you could have him on your bench just in case it does. But I think right now,
yeah, but I still wouldn't call him the handcuff. Like Charbonnet's going to take the job from him. I don't see that.
No, it's not. Like when I say handcuff, it's like Kenny Walker is basically screwed unless Charbonnet gets hurt, and Charbonnet is getting all the important touches. So in a handcuff, in the sense where if I have both, I am starting Charbonnet, right? And then God forbid something happens to Charbonnet. Now Kenny Walker is like a league winner because we know he's insane. But that's how I look at it. It's almost like Jones and Mason. Like if Mason gets hurt, then Jones is that's almost a top 10 running back again, right? Like if he stays healthy. So
I mean, the one thing you could say is Walker's obviously had his injury concerns. That would be the one concern I have on him. But if you're betting on talent, I'd bet on Walker.
Kenny, I'm a Walker truther, man. I just don't like the way it's shaking up.
And you should bet on talent. I mean, overall,
100%. That's what I did, but sometimes
Cody, go ahead.
Out.
Yeah, no, I was just going to slip in, guys. Pittsburgh next week, who Breece Hall just ran all over. I think we might get a good glimpse of who's really going to be the guy. If Ken Walker breaks a couple long runs and finds the end zone on a 20-yard, rush, I think this conversation could be flip-flop next week. This is just a back to do this all year long.
Yeah, agreed.
And that goes to why I said I didn't want to invest in this backfield. So
good job. Good call, Hoff.
But a lot of people, obviously the offseason thing was, the Clint Kubiak, his system, second most productive running back system behind CMC.
It's true. It's true.
We got to see it play out. It's 1 week. Let's be patient. But it could be a 50-50. Maybe Walker gets hurt again. We'll see what happens.
So I'll get into this next question from Paul. And, Cody, I'm going to kick this one to you first. He says, is there any concern for Brian Thomas, or do we still think he'll be fine? And if I could just read off the stat line. Where is he down here? Oh, yeah, there he is. I believe he was targeted 7 times, but only had 1 catch. He did have a rushing touchdown there. Cody, what are your thoughts there? I know Jacksonville is not the talk of the town, but when they got Travis Hunter there, they've got Brian Thomas there. What are your thoughts here? Are we worried about Brian Thomas or no?
Yeah, another weird game, by the way, because we had a weather delay and an hour and a half, pause. And that, you get warmed up, you get ready to go, your adrenaline's going, and then you go to the locker room for that long and kind of come back. That's tough. We saw how it affected Philadelphia and Dallas. And it definitely, if you watched this game, I was on Red Zone all Sunday, it affected these two teams coming back. What I'll say about Brian Thomas is if you drafted him as your wide receiver 1, hoping for what he was doing at the end of last season, which was putting up consistent 20 to 30 point weeks. He was amazing in the fantasy playoffs last year. I would be just a little bit concerned. It's not about him as a player. It's not that I still think he's going to be a top 15 wide receiver this year. I'm going to have him ranked pretty high in my weekly rankings. I might bump him down a tier. But I still like the player. It's just, you're going to have these weeks where, he gets 7 targets, but the Jags offense struggles. Maybe we call it Trevor Lawrence. Maybe we say this was an odd one again, because of the delay. But like I said, if he was a late first round pick for you, you're probably frustrated at them manufacturing so many plays specifically for Travis Hunter, which makes sense. They've spent a lot of draft capital to draft him at 2 overall. You want to keep him happy. I think that'll start to correct itself over the year, because I think Brian Thomas is genuinely really, really talented for a young receiver. So, I'm not worried in the sense of I think this guy's just going to be a dud all year, but I'd probably be a little worried if he's my wide receiver 1 and maybe I drafted him first and then went RB heavy after that, and my wide receiver 2 was, somebody a lot later, like a Khalil Shakir or Calvin Ridley even. I might be a little bit worried then, because I might not be getting enough from my wide receiver 1 to make up for going weak at wide receiver 2, if that makes sense.
That makes sense. Steve, what do you got here? Brian Thomas, worried? Okay.
They played a lot of 11 personnel, one of the heaviest in the league. I did go to their camp. I'm close. I saw Diami Brown get involved in camp, and he was involved yesterday. 3 for 52, Hunter 6 for 33. Thomas did run most routes at 30. But I saw a couple balls where Lawrence missed him too. I mean, there was like 2 or 3 balls where he just completely missed Thomas. So, that was maybe Mac Jones is a little bit more accurate. But like Cody said, towards the end of last year, there wasn't really a lot of guys. I think Ingram was out of the way. Gabe Davis, I think, was hurt. So it was like all Brian Thomas. There was really nobody else. And plus, Travis Etienne got a lot of work. I mean, the game script kind of changed things too, because the Panthers couldn't do anything on offense. So it wasn't really like a back and forth shootout. We were kind of maybe expecting a shootout. So, they didn't have to throw as much. But, you don't want to get overly worried. But again, you got Brenton Strange who looked good. They got the running backs. All 4 of those running backs I thought showed a little out, including LaQuinn Allen, who kind of looked decent. Tune had a couple nice runs. Tank Bigsby played a little bit. But then Diami Brown's going to be involved. He's a capable starting receiver. And then you bring in Hunter too, so who's going to be a weapon for them. So it's not as condensed as it was last year for Thomas. So like Cody said, I think you're slightly concerned, but he's still going to have some really good games or still have a really good season. It just may not be as strong as that finish we saw down the stretch last year.
Ernie, if you have a point to give there, you can. If not, I'm going to give you the next question and or both. But
I'll just give a short one on BTJ. I'm not worried at all. Pedigree's there. LSU boy. He's a freak. 6'4", 4'3". I think it was week 1, ugly game. JSN last year had 19 yards his first game. And then next week he had like 120 versus New England. I would be patient, man. This guy, he has all the traits to be elite. So I wouldn't panic just yet. I think he's still, even with Travis Hunter, I think this offense is going to get better, and I think they'll start to open it up. I really do. I think that's why they brought in Cohen. And so that's my opinion on it.
All right. So we do have a super chat coming up, but I did want you, Ernie, to answer this. Steve, if you can read it, I got to bounce back for a second, but go ahead from Jared.
Yeah, Frizz. Oh, Jared, my bad. I was looking at Frizz. Hey, guys, thoughts on my 12-team PPR redraft? Kyler, James Cook, Aaron Jones, Jordan Mason, Caleb Johnson, Jamar Chase, Hollywood, Wandale, Ayuk, McBride, Denver D, and Lutz. Cody, you could go first on that one.
Yeah. Man, every time, we go from one position to the next here, I'm like, don't know how much I love that. But then you get Jamar Chase pops up. You get Trey McBride pops up. I don't mind that. I mean, I think this is a good team. Looks like you went Chase first. Looks like you probably went Trey McBride at the back end of the second round. And then from there, maybe James Cook and went on. It's kind of frustrating if you drafted Caleb Johnson, planning on having him as a flex play. I was kind of surprised by his severe lack of involvement in the offense in Pittsburgh. I thought he was going to get, week 1, maybe 30%, something. I mean, what do you have? 1 carry, 2 carries for negative
1 carry.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Don't overreact, Jared, to week 1. A lot of people like to overreact. I would say you got Ayuk on your IR. That's good. You're going to have big weeks from Jamar Chase, Trey McBride. This week, this team probably didn't perform how you wanted it to. But, hey, Hollywood for the first few weeks is going to probably be a really good play. Looks like your wide receivers might be decent. Maybe you have an opportunity to make a trade. I think it's a pretty decent team. We'll kind of see how the season plays out.
He has Metcalf too, he said.
Oh, yeah. Hey, I like DK Metcalf a lot this year. They really want to get him the ball. Rodgers has a history of hyper-targeting his number 1 target. He's done it for his entire career, and we saw it yesterday. So plan on a big year from DK Metcalf.
You know what, Ernie? I'm going to actually go to you on this one with the super chat.
Sure.
And we got to answer if anybody has any other opinions here. But Frizzle with a $5 super chat. Appreciate that, man.
Thanks,
Said,
Frizz.
would it be crazy to drop Mark Andrews for Juwan Johnson, Fannin, Hunter? ? I know it's just 1 week, but I don't know if I could trust him. So, Ernie, I'll pitch it to you. I mean, listen, we all know Mark Andrews last year, week 1, historically, everybody was anointing Isaiah Likely. So what would you say here? It's the second year in a row in which it's a dud in week 1. How are you processing this?
I definitely wouldn't drop him for any of those guys. I would sit tight. Like yesterday, if you watch the game, it was a run first script. Like Baltimore came in there and we're like, yo, we're gonna run it down Buffalo's throat, right? They didn't really have to throw, even though Zay Flowers went crazy, right? I don't think it was that favorable of a game script for Mark. So I would sit tight, man. I think there's gonna be better days ahead with Mark Andrews. Like we all know the floor he possesses, right? I don't really see him bottoming out. Like Lamar loves him, and I think he's a good value at a position that's kind of like, a baron outside of a handful of players. So I'd hang on to him, give him a couple more weeks, and then if he's, just showing this same level of fall off, then that's when I would, try to look elsewhere for a tight end.
So because this is a super chat, I will pitch it over to Steve, and then Cody will go there. If you guys have anything to say here on this question, then we'll move it on.
It's tough because, Andrews obviously started slow last year, but I think he was in that car accident, and I think he had some other stuff going on. Then he blew up at the end of the year, but it's tough when you see guys like Juwan Johnson go off, and Harold Fannin, who I'm really excited about, and even who's the other guy he mentioned here? Oh, Hunter Henry. But yeah, I think you got to be patient. Even though I really like Fannin, like I feel like Fannin could be he has a chance to be a monster in this league.
Targeted a lot there.
Yeah, he could be a monster, so I understand it. But at this point, I think I got to be patient with Andrews and just kind of hope for the best. But it's possible that we could see a bit more Zay Flowers this year, and then even when Likely comes back, that could cause some issues. What the bad thing is Likely was out, and Andrews still didn't really do much in this game too. So a little bit of concern, but again, we were panicking on Andrews last year, and look what he did down the stretch. So it's tough to say. It's tough to say. I mean, if you wanted to take a shot on Fannin, I'm not going to hate it.
Cody, what says you, man?
Yeah, I'd say two quick things here, Frizz. Number one, I'll just say I do think it would be crazy at this point, to answer your question literally, to drop Mark Andrews for one of those three guys. Again, it's fun to look at Juwan Johnson as the tight end 1 overall right now, which is, I don't think anybody had that on their bingo card. But I'll say this. Here's my second thing. And maybe I don't know your league structure, and that's fine. Maybe you have a really, thin bench, but I find it hard to believe that you'd be in a situation where the worst player on your team to drop is Mark Andrews to pick up one of these tight ends. I would say you more than likely have a lesser depth piece on your bench that you could drop for a Harold Fannin. Because here's the thing, again, in Cleveland, I'm also just south of Bowling Green State, where Harold Fannin played his college ball last year and led the FBS in reception yards. They manufactured touches to him in Cleveland this past. I mean, I was shocked. Like, I didn't think he was going to get used that much. So I actually do like the guy. If you can pick him up, I would, but don't drop Mark Andrews. Drop somebody that's on. Drop Josh Palmer. Drop somebody else. Don't drop.
I would agree. If you have something like a Josh Palmer, I mean, people say, hey, you can't have two tight ends. Yeah, you can have two tight ends. Why not?
Absolutely.
You can have three tight ends on some team. I have a team with 4 tight ends. Like I have teams, Jatavian Sanders, Fannin. I'm just waiting for somebody to break out, and then I'll then I'll drop them. You can mix it up.
The Eagle, a little bit of breaking news here on the podcast.
Ooh.
The Eagles are at it again, trading for Tank Bigsby.
Wow, there we go. We were thinking about a trade.
Yo, he tweeted an Eagle.
Apparently, the Jaguars saw enough of Travis Etienne. They felt good about it. Maybe Travis Etienne's not dead, despite what everybody
Hank Bigsby just became like the most valuable handcuff in fantasy football, though.
I know that's true. And now, all right, fine.
They like Bo Shipley, man. They like Bo Shipley too.
He got hurt.
I know Shipley's nice, but dude, Howie being. I like Shipley, but I think Howie being the SEC whore that he is, he's probably scouted Bigsby, saw blood in the water that, the Jaguars drafted 2 in. They're using ETN. So, last regime drafted Bigsby. I think that's amazing Saquon Barkley insurance. I think this is why Howie Roseman is the best GM in the NFL. He used to be terrible. I don't know what happened. Now he's the best. And this is why the Eagles are amazing. Is it not true though? Like, dude, come on now.
No, I just know where you're going to revert to.
It's
true.
Revert to.
I would say
no, he's great. Steve,
when
go ahead,
people are right and people, you got to give them their flowers, man. You got to do it. That's a great move.
I get it. I'm just.
What did they trade?
Right.
I guarantee you, it's like a 6th-round pick.
I don't have it
something
here
insane.
Yet. It just went down.
Details. Here's 2 things on this really quick, guys. Number one, I was hoping, Hoff, when you started reading that they were going to have traded for a really good cornerback because their corner 2, their CB2 is terrible. But Adoree Jackson. But second thing is Tank Bigsby, if you're a dynasty owner, his value just went to the tank because a lot of people thought maybe he could be, the guy in Jacksonville, and now he's behind arguably the best running back in the NFL. So if you were a Tank Bigsby truther saying he was going to take the Jaguars job, you're probably not too happy right now.
So, Steve, I'll go to you then. Where do we
Duval
that investment in
People
of he's because Ernie said he's become one of the best handcuffs in fantasy football, which probably isn't far off. God forbid, knock on wood, something happens to Saquon.
Yeah.
But then also, we got Cody here saying that his dynasty value takes a hit because he's sitting behind Saquon. How do you assess what's going on here with this trade?
I think it's even if you're a tank owner, I mean, he still goes to a great situation. Obviously, you don't have the chance for him, becoming the number 1 back, and he's gonna have to sit behind Barkley. But if there's an injury, but I do think Shipley will still be involved. Shipley looked great the other night before he got hurt with the rib injury, but maybe he's going to be out for a while. Maybe that's one of the reasons they did this deal. Did we get an update on Shipley? I don't know.
Our own Peter says Will Shipley's hurt for a few weeks.
There you go. So that's another reason for the move. But I did notice that LaQuinn Allen actually got the second carry in that game, so the writing was maybe on the wall a little bit. And then you got Tootin, who obviously could look good. So this is good news for Tootin and also LaQuinn Allen possibly as well. But ETN is still going to be the guy. He looked great. He was awesome coming out of Clemson. He had some injuries. So yeah, ETN looks like a smash right now, but Tootin and maybe LaQuinn Allen, I'd still prefer Tootin. Yeah. They got some prospects as well still. I mean, they're going to mix in.
It's a big win for ETN truthers. Like, give them their flowers. Like, that was good. I'm
taking a victory lap.
A lot of people that I talked to, because like Tanks Bigsby last year, like, was the more efficient runner, graded out very well. Like, there was a lot of things to like about Tanks Bigsby, and I think that's why a lot of people were in on him. It's not just they weren't blindly doing it, but and a lot of people said, well, ETN's lack of production was because he was hurt. And there's probably truth to that now, because look at him now where, and again, it's not only that he's starting, like Liam Cohen, an offensive minded coach that, everybody's higher on right now. He was one of the hotter, coaching candidates last year. Like, he signed off on him. So that should give you the confidence. So yeah, big win for those guys.
Yeah. I will take that victory lap. I am a Travis Etienne truther. So I'm doing it. Yeah. I mean, I'm winded halfway through, but I'm doing the lap.
I would say open the light for Tootin though, because I think there's a chance he's going to earn more and more role as the season goes on. Sure. And I'm just glad I didn't draft any Tank Bigsby, but
dude, I don't. Do you not like handcuffs on your team?
No, but now the handcuff is gone. The handcuff's gone. The handcuff's now non-existent.
No, I'm saying like
no. It could work out. It could work out, but like his value definitely takes a hit. I mean,
of course, but I think as a handcuff, like, dude,
but what I'm saying is I think Shipley is going to be involved. It's not going to be Tank Bigsby,
right? But he's hurt. Shipley's out for a few. All I'm saying is that
by week 6 he's back. You know what I'm saying? So,
like, there's some deep rosters, and at the end of people's benches, like, some people like to stash like a handcuff that could win them the league.
No, of course. I'm happy I don't have any of them. It's better than having them, I think, at this point, right?
So let's do this. We got 6 minutes left. I'm going to go to Cody first here, because there was a question earlier, which I think is kind of important for fantasy, and we'll close it out on this. I believe it was Albert who asked, are you concerned about the Lions offense? Obviously the Lions get torched by Green Bay. I had already said I think the Lions are missing the playoffs this year because of everything that they lost. I just don't. When you're in that tough of a division, I think that's a problem. But in terms of fantasy, and we'll go around the room here to close it out, because the Lions are very important for fantasy now. Cody, I'll go to you. Steve, then I'll go to you. Ernie, I'll go to you, and then we'll wrap this sucker up. Cody, what says you? Are you worried about Detroit Lions, skill position players, Jared Goff, whomever?
Yeah, depends on the context of worry. I think we saw the writing on the wall. A couple years ago, Philadelphia lost both coordinators after the Super Bowl. Gannon goes to Arizona. Steichen goes to Indianapolis. They did start the next season 10-1, but then absolutely collapsed after that amazing game against Buffalo at home, overtime game. Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen duel was great.
What was that first game they lost? What was that first game they lost?
That was not. They got throttled. They got throttled by the Niners.
Cool. Keep going.
And then it went all downhill from there, guys. They had won one game down the stretch against the Giants and ended up getting beat in the playoffs. Losing both coordinators is a big deal, number one. Number two, Green Bay. I don't know that anybody at this point would argue, even just after 1 week, I don't know that anybody would argue against the fact that this team's the truth. Like they've been playoff team the last 2 years. They've looked pretty good. Jordan Love hurt week 1 last year. Didn't really look the same. But, man, they've got weapons on offense. Matt LaFleur's a fantastic coach. And, obviously, they just added Micah Parsons to a defense that's been getting built pretty well over the past couple of years. I wouldn't overreact to Detroit losing that game week 1 or overreact to their skill position player. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be fine. Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to be fine. Is Jameson Williams going to finish near, the top 15? Probably not now this year. Ben Johnson being gone, they're not going to have these trick plays that we're going to see in about, 20 minutes time, right? When the Bears hop on the field, and we'll see what Ben Johnson has in store. I would be a little worried for the depth pieces, but your main guys, I think Goff's still going to be okay. Jahmyr Gibbs is going to be a top 10 running back, top 5, as long as he's healthy. Amon-Ra St. Brown's going to be fine. And I think Sam Laporta even showed, he had a good game. I think he had 6 catches for 79 yards. So wouldn't freak out, but if you were expecting them to be the Lions from last year, well, I think you were crazy, just knowing that Ben Johnson was gone. What do you guys think?
Steve, what do you got, Steve? And then we'll go to Ernie, then we'll wrap this sucker up.
Well, I think the one concern you have, if they can't protect Goff as well, and I noticed he was under a lot of pressure yesterday. Obviously, the Packers bringing in Parsons is tough, but he took 4 sacks, just 5.8 yards per attempt. Gibbs caught 10 passes for 33 yards. Like, when the hell do you ever see that? Or 31 yards? That was kind of weird. He had 9 carries for 19 yards. So, yeah, I have to go back and rewatch this game and kind of see what their play calling was like. But, yeah, of course, without Ben Johnson, new coordinator, is going to be some bumps and bruises along the way. It's week 1. You don't want to overly panic. But, maybe this is just not going to be as good as it was the last couple of seasons. It is possible. So, but, yeah, you don't want to panic too much yet.
Sure. Ernie, what do you got, man?
Yeah, I'm not panicking on Detroit. I think they'll definitely be a playoff team. Again, it's week 1, tough game. Packers, it's a divisional game. Packers are coming in with a lot of juice. Good team, good coach. Some teams just look stale week 1. I'm definitely out on Jameson Williams. I never was in on him. Loved him in college. Didn't turn out what I thought he'd be. St. Brown, though, Gibbs, I'm in on them. There's always going to be factors. I actually think if Detroit regresses as a team this year, that means they're going to be games even more, right? So they're going to have to utilize those players more. They're going to have to give the ball to Gibbs more. They're going to have to give the ball to St. Brown more. I thought Laporta looked good for a guy that, we were heralding the next Travis Kelce last year to the kind of the fall off he had to, the game he had yesterday. He looked good. Mm-hmm. So I think there's a lot of promise there, but yeah, I think Detroit might not be the powerhouse they were, but I think they're definitely still going to be very good, and I'm not panicking at all.
No, you have to panic, but they're going to miss the playoffs. But well, Steve, what do you got?
I would say the biggest thing, if they can't protect Goff the same, then this offense could crumble because Goff will crumble and the offense will crumble.
Ragnow was a big loss. I feel like that was a very underrated loss.
That was big.
But their tackles are still sick. We'll see.
They have some good picks. All these coordinators. You can't lose all these coaches. Sure. And you can't lose Frank Ragnow and pretend that you're going to be fine. You're not going to skip a beat. But whatever. I will die on that hill. But listen, this has been fun. It's time to end because it's time for Monday Night Football to start. I hope you other three have your bets in or your DraftKings lineup.
Let's do can we do our picks before we get off? Who we got? I got Skull.
Going with the Vikings.
Skull.
Cody?
Vikings.
McCarthy props.
Give me fuck it. I'll do Bears because everybody else is saying
you have to.
That's what I'll do.
Yes.
I gotta be that guy.
I was scared we were gonna give the Vikings the kiss of death, man. So you gave me hope, Paul. Thank you.
There it is.
Cheers. I only gave you hope because nobody else would. So until next time, folks.
This was fun.
This was fun. Until next time,
Love
stay
you guys,
thirsty.
Man. Next
be
time.
kind to one another. We'll catch you guys on the flip side. Cheers.